Solve the following question. Define work. Work done is equals to force times perpendicular distance. So that's work done. So it's going to be W is equals to FD cos theta. So its SI unit. SI unit is joules. So derive from the definition in 1 the equation for the change in potential energy near the Earth's surface. So work done is equals to force times distance. So the distance here is going to be equal to H. Force is going to be equal to weight. So weight is going to be equal to mg. So we substitute work done is equals to mgh. So that's the formula for work done for objects near Earth. So let's move on. A cubic wooden block of mass 3 kg and side 0.5 meters lying horizontally on one of its faces is tilted through 30 degrees as in Fig 1.1. Determine the change in potential energy. So let's determine the change in potential energy. Let's determine the change in potential energy. I think it's fairly simple. The change in potential energy. So when the wooden block was in its initial position, so this is the center of mass. So the center of mass, since this is 0.75, this is 0.75, 0.75, 0.75. So according to Pythagoras, let's just say go to 0.75 is equals to a. So according to Pythagoras, square root of a squared plus a squared is going to be equal to 2 root 2a. So but you need half. You find the length of this diagonal, but you need half of it. So half of it is going to be divided by 2. That's half of it. So let's move on. So when this one was in this position, this was the height. So the height when it was in that position was just 0.75 divided by 2. That was the height. But when it was in this position, the height was now this one. This was the new height. So you begin to write the potential energy gained. So the potential energy gained is equal to mgh. So it's equal to 3.0 multiply g, it's 9.81 multiplied by, so the initial height multiplied by the initial height, 0.75 divided by 2 minus root 2 multiplied by 0.75 over 2. So you solve that and your EP is equal to 4.03 joules. That's going to be your EP. The most important thing is to discern this diagram. So that was the last question. But remember that whenever you are doing this, you must realize that this should be root 2 multiplied by 75 at an angle. You should also multiply here sine the initial angle that it was plus the final angle should be sine 75, because remember this was at an angle, but when it was raised 30 degrees it becomes 75, so that you can produce your answer.